Hey guys, so now that we have 3 free-to-play Ultra characters as well as the first summonable Ultra character with Ultra Gogeta, thought it was probably time to make a video sort of discussing and comparing Ultra characters versus Legends Limited Sparkings. So before we jump into the actual video here, Legends Limited is a designation that's used as sort of like an extended feature or characteristic of a unit. So for example, the Sparkings that we're getting that are LFs, quote unquote, they're Legends Limited, they're designated Legends Limited characters. That means they could potentially designate Ultras as Legends Limited in the future, which I think will eventually happen. We'll eventually get Legends Limited Ultra characters, but it's sort of like how Dokkan did LRs, right? They started with LRs that are free, then they went into summonable LRs, and then eventually we ended up getting Dokkan Fest exclusive LRs. I feel like we're probably heading into a similar path with Legends, where they're starting out with 3 Ultras. Now we finally got the first summonable Ultra, and then later down the line we'll probably get some kind of Legends Limited Ultra. So for now, this comparison will be strictly made between Sparking Legends Limited characters, because that's all we have access to right now, and the Ultras that we have in the game. So my question is, which do you feel is more aesthetically pleasing? Ultra characters that we have, or Legends Limited Sparking? So before we go into the actual responses themselves, let's just take a quick look at the poll. I did a poll just to get an average, or sort of like an overview of numbers without going into too much detail here. So let me actually turn this off here. So basically, almost 70% of people who responded to this poll picked Legends Limited Sparkings as the more aesthetically pleasing variant of these 2 units. That, to me, is very significant. The fact that 70% of people voted for that tells me that people definitely feel strongly about the Legends Limited Sparkings being just way more, I guess, luxurious feeling than Ultras. And before we get into the responses, I just want to quickly just lay out my opinion on this as well. For me, I've actually come to dislike the intros for Ultras. It just, they're cool when you first see them, and they're cool when you see them the first few times when the units release, but after you've seen the intros like 5 million bajillion times, it's really just annoying. Like for Ultra Gogeta, for example, when I use Ultra Gogeta, I actually go out of my way to not lead off with Ultra Gogeta, because I don't want to see the intro every single time. And I definitely can't say the same thing about LFs, because LFs, you actually have to work for the LF. And getting the LF off feels satisfying, and it feels like a reward in a sense. Whereas for Ultras, all you got to do is pick them, lead off with them, and then you get this animation, which is just, honestly, it's kind of doesn't even look that great, to be honest. The other thing that separates Ultras from normal characters is the Tab Attack animation, the Strike animations, and for Gogeta specifically, his Blast animation looks different. For Gogeta, the Blast animation I think is definitely very good looking. I like that they changed up the Blast animation. But for the Tab Attack animations, I really don't like the Tab Attack animations. It looks like the character's like struggling to attack the enemy or something. It looks really bad, in my opinion. The Clash animation's pretty cool. I think that's fine. But other than those things, I mean, when it comes down to, sort of our Ultra characters, do they really feel like that next step up in rarity from Sparkings? I would say no. They definitely don't, in my opinion. And there's definitely a lot more that I feel like they could do to make Ultras stand out from just normal Legends Limited Sparking characters, to make it actually feel like, okay, yeah, I pulled a character that is this ultra rare and hard to obtain character in the game. And just to go off of that even further, now that we know what the summonable rates are going to be for these Ultras, as well as how easy they're able to obtain. So for example, Gogeta, 0.35% pull rate, and you get 2,000 Z power for pulling them. I will tell you guys right now, it is going to be way easier, assuming they keep that rate moving forward, which I highly doubt they will. It is going to be way easier to star up your Ultra character than it will be to star up your Legends Limited Sparking character. So to me, Ultra characters being a higher rarity than Sparking, it doesn't really add up. I I've seen way too many people with very, very high-starred Ultra Gogetas compared to regular Legends Limited Sparking characters. And I don't think it's just because this is Legends Festival or whatever. This is the very first summonable Ultra character. I would be very surprised if the second Ultra summonable character we get has the same rates and the same banner format as this Gogeta. It is way too easy to get him high stars, and I don't think that's what they had intended, but we will see, and that is my overall opinion on this. I do agree with most of the people who voted on this poll, saying that Legends Limited Sparkings definitely feel more aesthetically pleasing than Ultras. Let's see what people said in response here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so I like I like the sound effects and the visuals of the Ultra card, the unit intro before every match, and the special effects. Ultras just feel different. LFs are just regular Sparkings with a longer finish animation. It's whatever. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that perspective as well. But for me, for Legends Limited units, it's just like, again, you have to actually work to get the extra animation. Whereas for Ultras, it's just kind of like a generic intro that you see like 7 million times in a row. And it's just like, alright, I really don't want to see this again. Easily LF Sparkings for me. When Ultras have their intro and unique Clash and Blast animation, the legendary finish moves usually dwarf these. Plus at one point the Ultra intro actually do get a bit annoying. Yeah, exactly. Since you can't skip them, but you can always choose not to LF. I prefer Legends Limited Sparkings much more. Better pull rates to pull, and Legends Limited Z Power you can use to increase stars in them. So far Ultras are nothing special to me, so just the Sparkings with better models and intro. I'll take LFs over intro any day. They should have intros and LFs to be special. So actually I disagree with the first point you made, where it says better rates to pull. Technically you're correct, because Legends Limited Sparkings generally have a 0.5% pull rate, while Ultras have 0.35%. But for Ultras, you have the 2 times the rate step for the Ultra character, right? So that's literally a 0.7% pull rate to put them on that step. Plus you're getting 2,000 Z power per pull. So on average, you're going to be starring up your Ultra character way faster than your regular Legends Limited Sparking character on a normal banner. So I disagree with that step there, or with that point there. To see the gimmick of Ultras, you are forced to start with them. LF characters have to finish the match with their ult/blue card, which is harder to do, but landing LF and seeing connection is unstable, while watching beautiful animation is far more satisfying. I agree. I feel like Ultra characters should have legendary finishes built into them. It doesn't make sense to me to have a higher rarity whose main selling point is the flashiness/cool animations, just to lack the main aspect of what makes LF units cool. And before LF Ultras are coming, I mean, yeah, it's eventually going to happen, right? But yeah, definitely agree with that. It just kind of felt a little bit out of place, and something was missing, right? When we saw like the preview for Ultra Gogeta, people were expecting there to be some kind of like flashy finish, whereas you know, when the actual intro played and then they did like the little sequence of gameplay for Gogeta, he finished the enemy with his ultimate and then it just sort of like faded away. People were pretty underwhelmed by that. Legends Limited ends up feeling more pleasing to me. In Dragon Ball, there are more memorable finishes to a fight compared to character introductions. The characters who have more memorable intros, like Final Form Frieza in the Guinea Force, aren't getting an Ultra anytime soon. That's a good point, actually, because in Dragon Ball, you don't really think of, like, great intros, I guess, to characters. A lot of the times, you know, the fights end with a bang, and that captures the essence of the of the series, I think, way better than like these flashy intros do. Iron Cane, huh? I feel like there should be Legends Weekend Limited unit. Yeah. But to answer your questions, Legends Limited units, definitely. Maybe if each Ultra has unique animations, but as it stands, an LF is definitely more hype than an intro. Okay. I think the Legends Limited units feel more special, as landing the legendary finish is more satisfying, and the Ultra unit doesn't even get a special finishing effect. The only advantage they have over LFs is the start of the match and the blast animation. Yeah. Legendary finish is always going to be more epic than any kind of intro animation could ever be. There's a lot of more badass moments in Dragon Ball where a special move ended a fight, only a handful of cool ways to begin one. Though I do like that the Ultra card is animated. Yeah, the actual card art itself, I think, is definitely like way better for Ultra characters than Legends Limited characters, because you get the animated card art, and you could tell they definitely put a lot more work into that part of the card than the normal Legends Limited Sparking. Ultras have the potential to be better, but Legends is very inconsistent with their quality with both LS and Ultras. That is hard to say. Tag Goku Vegeta are more Ultra-like than Ultra Omega in-game. What I can say is that I really like the animated art of the Ultras. Yeah, I would say that overall they, obviously some LFs are going to be more cool than other LFs, and then same thing for Ultras. But I think overall we take the actual concept of a legendary finish when compared to an Ultra character. The legendary finish is just way more hype, just almost every single time without fail. Ultras, people forfeit the LFs anyway. Yeah, that's a good point as well. You can just forfeit the LF and then the other person can't see it. So the flashy Ultra intros and strike animations make them better. Honestly, depends on the scene. I'd rather see Goku go Super Saiyan than you fool, but they can add more stuff because the ones that they use are hella short. I believe that the LFs are more aesthetically pleasing. The fact that you need to start off with the Ultra to get the intro animation can hurt you since your opponent may color counter you. Yeah, that's true. Legends Limiteds have LFs that are really satisfying to land since they don't happen every match. Yep. As of right now, I still say Legends Limited feels more aesthetically pleasing, while Ultras have unique animations and card art. The satisfaction of getting that special finisher animation with the LF outweighs that of an Ultra. Yeah, I think, we're seeing a common theme here. At the end of the day, it just sort of comes down to the LF, it doesn't happen every match, and you don't really get tired, I guess, of seeing the LF animation because you have to actually work for it, and the satisfaction of you getting that LF vastly outweighs you just clicking your unit, your Ultra unit, to lead off with them and seeing the same animation over and over and over and over again, 50 matches in a row. It just gets really, really boring. LFs. I don't think an Ultra will ever be as hype as an LF. I just think the fact that all the unique animations they were supposed to have is shared by all of them is stupid. If you ask people who's cooler, Goku/Vegeta or Gogeta, most will say LF Goku and Vegeta. I mean, that is true. I think a lot of us were under the impression that when they said unique animations, that each individual Ultra was going to have sort of their own unique animations. But I think what they actually meant was that Ultra as a rarity will have unique animations as compared to Sparkings or Extremes or Hero units. So I think that was just a miscommunication on their part. Yeah, I definitely do agree with the overall point that you made. It really doesn't make sense in what they're doing. Legends Limited and Ultras are flashy openings and endings, but really matters. Sort of the fight or the ending, seeing a pattern where they'll mix the two in one sooner than later, where people would be worried about the rates. I mean, yeah, it's just what we talked about earlier, Legends Limited, Ultras. It all depends on the user's preference. Ultras have a lot more interactive animations, but the LFs have their alternative arts, which are usually not that great. I disagree with that. I feel like a lot of Legends Limited alternative arts are really cool. The one good art that I can say is probably Feature Gohan. Ultras are amazing and unique, so I don't know. For Ultras, the models are so much cleaner, but Legends Limited Goku and Vegeta models are practically on Ultra level. It really depends on the Legends Limited, because look at Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta's model. Yeah, I would agree that specifically Evolution Blue Vegeta's model does not look the best. If you took a look at his model in game, it would be, without that aura, it would be very difficult to actually tell that he was Evolution Blue Vegeta. If I have to be honest, I prefer Legends Limited Sparkings over Ultras. Yeah, the Ultra Rarity may be better looking animation-wise, but now they are in summons. I've lost interest in the Ultra Rarity. The Dragon Ball Legends team should have kept them free to play so that everyone could experience them. I mean, I don't really think that's an issue. The question is just more so about the aesthetics, and I mean, you just said that you think the Ultra Rarity has better animations, but so that means you like Ultras better. Okay, got it. At the moment, Legends Limited characters are more appealing to me. The new Ultras are cool, and with all the animations, but after seeing the Ultras we had and those all using about the same animations already got me tired of it. However, the LFs, some of them are clean. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just the LF animations usually are just way more hype than the Ultra intros, because you see them so many times. Ultra Gogeta animation was just polished version of Green Gogeta. If you compare Ultra Gogeta animation to Tag Goku and Vegeta, he is way behind. They need to up their game for Ultra characters. I mean, it's the same Gogeta character. That's why you're saying that, I guess. But I disagree with your point, but I see where you're coming from. Legends Limited because Ultra's intro gets you tired after a week. Yep, exactly. The legendary finish is something exclusive that you don't get every game, so it still has its magic. Ultra units have the best visual aspects, intros, better animations, and overall look more polished. An Ultra Legends Limited unit could be cool, combining both of those aspects of legendary finishes and the Ultra animations into one. After Gogeta, not sure if I want another summonable Ultra anytime soon. Okay. This is going to be the typical response, but Legends Limited, because of their finishing moves, as cool as the Ultra intros are, and the animated card art for Out of Battle, it just doesn't compare to the flashy ending of the fight, especially in instances where you're unsure of the kill shot. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some pretty much common themes throughout these responses here. We'll do a few more, and then we'll probably end. Legends Limited easily. The thing with Ultra is you got to start with them to see the Ultra animation take place, which if you were playing Blue Purple Super Saiyan, you got to start with Bardock plus Ultra animation, as if now is way cooler than Ultra animation. Okay. In my opinion, Legends Limited is more appealing solely because of the LF. There's nothing like getting that special animation once in a while that you can only get under certain conditions. LF feels far better to be premium to me than Ultra, and Ultra feels like it's just another power-up but no much hype unless they release Ultra LF. Again, it's going to happen eventually. LF's much better and feels more special. Sure, the Ultra units are crazy, but I wish there was a bit more to the Ultras besides an intro and animated art. I wish they had like a flashback scene whenever they finish an enemy off, like in Storm 4. The LFs have better animations, though. Okay. I think this is wrong if they're making Ultra stupid good like Gogeta. He have everything and besides LF. This would be a problem every time they release an Ultra character. Maybe in future we will full broken Ultra team where we can do anything. I mean, sure, that's pretty much what they're going for, I guess. Sure, the LF characters are cool, but their LF animation is all they have. The Ultra animated black and white card art is superb. The models in game look way cleaner. Sure, animations are reused, and it's a pity but they're still cooler than normal units. I mean, yeah, being cooler than a normal unit is it's not really a high bar to set, honestly. Both look very nice, but I was honestly disappointed seeing Gogeta not having an LF. Yes. I thought summonable Ultras will have it to be the most aesthetically pleasing units in the game. Now I'm going to assume all summonable Ultras will have reused animations, which is underwhelming. Yeah, I mean, to me, that is pretty much the same exact way that I felt. When they first revealed Ultra Gogeta, me, along with like a lot of other people, I would dare say most people, were expecting in that like sort of preview gameplay video that they showed off with Gogeta, for him to be doing some kind of flashy ending animation with his ultimate that kills the enemy, but it's just kind of nothing happens. He just kills the enemy, and this is just like a normal win screen. Something just felt missing to me, especially after we're so used to seeing these Legends Limited units finish these units off and just have these like ridiculously flashy animations with like the special win screen and stuff. It felt like just not hype enough. All right, last one. Honestly, Legends is dropping the ball on these Ultra characters. It seems to me that they almost hold back on them. Like Ultra Gogeta should have had the smile for his win screen, and as the first summonable Ultra, I feel like they could have done better. So pretty much the main theme that we're seeing across, I would say, most of these responses. Again, I'm not able to go through all these. How many responses did we get in total here, by the way? 354 responses. By the way, the amount of votes on this poll, 5,283 votes. And again, nearly 70% of people voted for Legends Limited Sparkings being more aesthetically pleasing than Ultras. I would definitely agree with the outcome of this poll. I would definitely fall into Legends Limited characters, legendary finishes being way more premium feeling, having that premium feel than Ultra characters. I think the card art is very nice on Ultra characters, the black and white animated intros. Gogeta specifically having the unique blast animations, but then like the reuse strike, tap attacks, all the other stuff, it just kind of feels like it doesn't matter at all. I don't know. I'm just very tired of seeing the same intros over and over again, and it does not hold the same weight, in my opinion, as the legendary finish animations. So that's my opinion. That's the opinion that we've seen from most people, sort of responding to this question. Let me know down below what you guys feel about this. Do you like Legends Limited Sparkings more, or do you prefer Ultra characters? Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.